I think this is a sort of an endemic sort of situation regarding all politicians, and regardless of left, right, center of the political spectrum. Chicago's set to pass one of the biggest guaranteed income plans amid calls to put money to violence. Now, if you watch any of my videos in the past year or two, you know that I've talked about Chicago every once in a while, especially when it, tickles my fancy. And this is no different here. Because while Chicago is basically Chirac, it's essentially an open-air Nintendo game. You would think that they would put all their money towards fixing that obvious dumpster fire of a problem. No. We need to give people money that for no reason. Wait, what? Yeah, that's what they're doing here. The proposal is part of Mayor Lori Lightfoot's annual budget plan. Now, think about this for a second. We're still technically in a pandemic. Okay, so you would think that with the ongoing violence, death, and destruction within the inner city in Chicago, you would think that they would address those two issues like right now. No. We got that controlled. You don't have it controlled. It's actually worse. But we're going to give people money? Let's read this because I'm not quite sure, because I didn't read this article yet. Not quite sure what they're trying to pass here. But they're going to pass it because it's Chicago. It's left. That's what they're going to do. The Chicago City Council is expected to pass a measure this week that would result in one of the largest guaranteed basic income measures in the country amid calls from black lawmakers to put the money towards the city's violent crime problem. So, let me get this straight. You got Lori Lightfoot, who's black, I guess, and you got the city council, okay, and calls from black lawmakers saying, hey, let's fix the violence in the inner city, that problem right now. Let's fix it. Lori Lightfoot goes, no, the city council apparently. Let's give people money through guaranteed income. Wait, okay, but the problem still exists, right? So you're not fixing the problem. So this is basically like, you got a flat tire. The analogy being the flat tire is violence in the inner city. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep driving the car until the tire reinflates itself because you just hope for the best, I guess. Or you keep putting gas in the car with the flat tire and you keep driving it. Now there's sparks going on, but you keep driving the car because, we fixed the problem by putting more gas in the car. But you didn't. The main problem is your right front tire isn't there anymore. There's sparks. You're actually going so far as the disc brakes are scraping against the ground, causing heat and problems. But no. We fixed the problem. That didn't really exist in the first place. My analogy there isn't quite the best because I'm not scripted here, so you get the point. Instead of fixing the obvious dumpster fire of a problem, you ignore it, and you're going to fix a problem that is way down on the list of issues that don't need to be addressed. Amazing. The Chicago Police Department, as of last week, reported, you guessed it, 649 murders this year alone, compared to 634 for all of 2020. And that was the Summer of Love, violent, fiery but peaceful protest all throughout the country. But we're going to fix the violence problems by giving people guaranteed basic income. From who, you guess? Tax money from people who are working. Right. Okay. So how does this fix the problem again? Short answer is it doesn't. The program, if passed, would give 5,000 low-income households
$500 a month
using funding from the federal stimulus package that was rolled out earlier this year to address economic hardship as a result of the pandemic. Okay, great. So that means my tax dollars are going to Chicago to give people, 5,000 low-income households, money for no other reason that they don't have it? Okay. The program is part of the Democrat Mayor Lori Lightfoot's proposed city budget. The council is set to begin considering Wednesday. It's all foregone conclusion. The total cost of the program exceeds $1 million. The city received close to $2 billion in aid from the Potatoes administration's American Rescue Plan package. So, for you out there that are working jobs, even through the pandemic, money that you worked hard for, taken away by the government, given to Chicago to give to people who are low income. For whatever reason, why they're low income, don't know. But we're giving them money. $500 a month. 5,000 households. Now, is that fair? No, it's not. What are you going to do about it? You going to protest? Jesus Christ. Most of the city's council members support the idea. Of course they do. Let me guess. Are there any... No, there's no fucking Republicans on the city council in Chicago. Are you fucking kidding me? It's all varying levels of socialist and communist cocksuckers. Yeah, so you're not going to get any pushback. You may something like, well, it needs to be $650 a month. It needs to be $450 a month. We'll settle on $500. Good to go. Lightfoot says the program is inspired in part by memories, for Christ's sake, of her own childhood during which her family lived check to check. So, what about some families in Appalachia? Oh, fuck them, they're white. I get it. All right. When you're in need, every bit of income helps. The first pilot program for a guaranteed income policy was implemented in 2019, Stockton, California. By the way, that didn't last very long. Monthly stipends were given to 125 households, which city leaders say resulted in more full-time employment, in addition to resulting in better mental and emotional well-being among members of the program. Several dozen cities have begun considering similar efforts to target financially challenged members of their communities. That consideration is heavily fueled by the significant amount of funding received by cities as part of the COOF stimuli packages. Wow. Imagine that. Anyways. Opponents of the UBI programs argue that the guaranteed incomes will discourage people from finding jobs in an environment where 51% of small business owners say they have jobs that they cannot fill. That is more than twice the historical average of 22%. Here we are. Even right now, you can go out in any locale in this country and find help wanted. We'll pay you a $500 signing bonus for Wendy's at $15 an hour. And you still see those signs up because they're not filling those jobs. But you got some goon or ghoul like Lori Lightfoot saying, hey, we're just going to pay people $500 a month extra upon whatever money they're getting for reasons to help the economically disadvantaged. Okay, but then how are you going to keep funding that problem? Because there's people out there that are like, hey, what about me? What about you? In Chicago, the 5,000 recipients will be selected at random. Right. Selected at random, whose all their skin colors will be, you guessed it, not this one. All must be adults who make less than $35,000 annually. Now imagine that. You make $35,000 annually on top of getting $500 a month from Chicago. Well, guess what? What benefit is it for you to make $40,000 a year? There isn't. So you're going to stay at that job. You're going to work barely you're going to work the bare minimum hours to meet that threshold. I mean, oh my God, this is ridiculous. The city plans to track the recipients. Right. They're going to track the recipients. spending for the first 6 months of the program and then move to a more targeted assistance system based on spending habits. This is amazing. We're in a world now where you got that ghoul, Lori Lightfoot, Democrats and socialist cocksuckers out there that are going to give 5,000 random participants or recipients $500 a month. Now, if you do the math on that, 10 times 500 is 5,000, and then that's $6,000 a year. Okay. On top of $35,000 annual income. So what are they going to do with that $6,000? Who knows? Who knows? But again, what about people who are making $40,000 who are not eligible for that thing? Do you think they're going to stop doing their job, perhaps, to get under that threshold? Why bust your ass 45 hours a week when you're going to get an extra $500 a month by not working that extra time? And if you work the 35 hours a month, basically doing the math, randomly in my head, haphazardly, if you will. So how's that going to work? You're going to see a lot of people out there that are going to try to, dare I say, get under that threshold. This is a bullshit package, bullshit plan, and it's not going to work. It may work in the interim, but it just isn't going to work. And plus, think about this. You're getting taxed for people who are making more than that money to fund these sons of bitches that are getting that money for not working as hard as you. So what's the benefit for you to bust your ass and to pay taxes to give these people that are not busting their ass as hard as you? I think you know the answer to that question I just posited.